Welcome back to Friday Night Live. It's Dr. Darya Ghafourpour, and I am so glad that you are here with me today. I'm getting a message that says my connection is weak, so I apologize if that means that there might be some cutting in and out. Usually when that happens when on the replay, it's not so bad. It still works out okay. So, and I get to do this in landscape mode for the first time. Somehow Facebook is allowing my phone to go sideways, because in the past, all the way up until now, I've had to hold my phone in portrait mode, vertical wise, because otherwise it always went, well, I look like that. So I'm kind of excited that it's letting me do something a little bit different today. Right, you know, I've had a very interesting week. And I'm fiddling with my earpiece now because I forgot to put that on, and I think you'll get better sound for me if I do this. All right, thanks for that. So I've had a really interesting week, very, very busy and very loaded, I want to say. I have encountered so many different forms of like fear and chaos, it seems. And what I started asking myself, what's the common theme here? Why does this keep coming up? What is the message for me? And do I need to do anything differently? Or, you know, it's my world, so I'm attracting some sort of circumstances surrounding that. And what was really helpful for me to do was to keep reminding myself to go neutral, as I say, and step back a bit. Get into observation mode, because that's a really great way to help step away from the chaos that maybe is going on around you. It's very tempting to participate in it, or to get scared, or to get gossipy. Like some of this even revolves around gossip, you know, in a really odd way. Gossip and I've like observed and been told about bad mouthing, you know, people bad mouthing one another, and I'm just like, what's that all about? These are really nice people. What's going on that I'm being told that all of this is happening? And the other thing that was interesting is that one circumstance after another, people were coming to me to talk to me about all these really bad things that were going on. Which is fine, you know, it's like when you're a friend or acquaintance, you want to listen to people and help them feel better. But I just noticed it happening over and over and over again. And what I saw was a tendency and an inclination for me to want to like drop my frequency and match that energy of like being scared and being uptight and, oh no, what if, and what am I going to do? And I know I'm speaking very broadly right now, and that's on purpose. For one thing, there's, you know, sometimes the individual circumstance almost doesn't even matter. It's just one example of how things come about, how our energy manifests in the world around us. But then also because there's no need to kind of give anything away. In case people who know what's going on are watching. But so I'm just kind of keeping it broad, and I'll give you some examples that relate, let's say, with professionalism, with careers, with job environments, with friendships, with living situations and work situations, you know, like change is happening. Oh, and this is natural for us to get a little bit scared and uneasy because we don't know what's going to happen next. And sometimes the unknown, they always say, oh, it's the fear of the unknown. So sometimes you get apprehensive when you don't know what's ahead of you. And what I realize is that even when that's the case, and even if other people are pulling into, there's like a vortex that can happen of energy. And the most recent circumstance that I was thinking of, it's like, yeah, there's just a lot of that energy that's just chaotic. It just felt chaotic, you know, change of leadership that's going on. People don't know where they stand, what's the footing, you know. And with that comes fear, I think. And once I recognized what was going on, that there was a pattern, this was like day after day after day, different scenarios would happen, and I started noticing this common theme. This was the pattern. And today was perfection, because one of my patients is so wonderful. I love her. And she's a very calm person, you know. And so she's one of my patients here at the dental office, and she meditates and she does retreats, you know. She practices mindfulness, and it was so perfect that she came in today, because I knew this about her. And I thought, and sitting with her and realizing how my week has been, and I'm just thinking through, you know, we're getting close to lunchtime, so she's the last person before my lunch. So I've already had a very, 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 very busy morning. You know, we like to accommodate people who need us on short notice, and one person broke her front tooth. Of course, we want to be there for her and to help her out. That's hard for anybody to go through. And so, you know, we worked hard leading up to that point. And I found that when I had her in the chair, then, hi, happy Friday night. I'd love it if whoever's joining me would say hi. Hi, Martina. I'm so glad you're here. I was just talking about how everything leading up to this moment that I'm describing, where I had this interaction with this awesome patient, was kind of pointing out to me the chaos that was happening in my surroundings. But part of what I'm getting at is that that's all perspective too. Like I was noticing that the people who were involved and who were sharing with me and talking to me about their particular circumstances, and there were some common threads there among the various people too. I thought, oh, this just feels really kind of chaotic and uncertain, and it feels like it's stemming from fear, and I don't need to get pulled into it. And so with this patient of mine, I sat down with her and I just went, like, I felt like I was getting her numb. I'm giving an injection, okay? Sorry if that scares some of you, just the thought of that. But I always walk my patients through that and take a deep breath, and it's okay, you know, I'll be real gentle and slow, and it'll, you know, to help make it easy for you. And she had said, I don't know if you're on. Hi, I am on. I'm live right now, but I don't know if you're watching me live. So in any case, what I was going to say is that here I was giving her an injection, and I coach people, take a nice deep breath, that's it, easy breathing. And what I did was I found myself just going, and it just felt like I let go of my whole week leading up to that moment. And there was something really magical about that, you know? And so I finished giving her the injection, and, you know, I'm just real swift with that, you know, moving my little equipment away, and she says, that was perfect, she said. I was like, yes, I'm in the flow. And my epiphany was that I was so glad she was there for me. I felt like she was there for me as much as she probably felt like I was there for her. And I expressed that to her. I just said, I'm so glad you're here. Like, this is perfect that you're here, and I gave her a general idea of the week that I'd been having, and just my sense of a lot of chaos that was going on in my surroundings, and my sense of, I keep using that word fear, because it really was feeling like fear of the unknown. You know, people aren't sure about what's going on with their jobs, and this isn't in my office, but you know, or what's going on with their business location. You know, is their building going to get sold or not? Are they going to have to find a new place to move their entire business, and cost? You know, that can be a little bit alarming and disconcerting. So what I realized was that it's all a matter of perspective. Still, it's all a matter of perspective. And when I let out that breath when I was with her, I was just like, this is all my mindset. It's all my mindset. And I don't have to participate at all. I can just listen and be a friendly ear for somebody, And then I can draw my line and my border. I can create a border and then just decide this isn't in my world. It's okay that it's in your world, but that doesn't have to be my world. And it doesn't have to be chaotic. And when I just took that breath and felt just really grounded and present and grateful for the person with whom I was interacting, you know, and just being there with her and feeling like this is real. This is real life right now. This interaction that we're having with one another. This is what counts. This is what matters. And I just felt so light from that moment on, you know, like from then on, it was great. And so I took a quick walk during my lunchtime. I actually didn't get very long of a lunch, but it's just a gorgeous day outside today. So I got to get fresh air, you know. It's been like storming and raining during a lot of the week. And now the last couple of days were just beautiful. And I was just like, oh, I know what I'm going to talk about in my video tonight. Because I had been, you know, what am I going to talk about? What's coming up? And that's what it felt was coming up, is that I can be in control still. I can be in control of my own reality. I am in control of my own reality. Even when there's a lot of other stuff going on, I don't have to get stressed by that. And while I could very easily choose to complain about my present situation as others were doing that in one manner or another when they were talking with me, I could very easily get into that too. I just listened and, you know, was compassionate and didn't participate, and that was perfect. That was perfect because that's what I needed. So I was respecting myself and where I was. And in fact, with one conversation that was happening, it started to feel so heavy, the complaining that was going on. And I just found this way of changing the subject to watching movies. It just happened that way. And it was perfect. It was perfect, you know, because we both related on this one movie and went from there on. And it was just like, we just needed to leave that conversation and leave that energy behind because it wasn't serving us. It was, you know, just making the person who was speaking get a little bit riled up and upset. And, you know, I wasn't thrilled to be listening about what was going on, but then I didn't want to get upset or feel down either. And, you know, all it takes is just distracting your mind and creating a different reality. And it was such a great place to be, to realize that that's all that it took, you know. And while I was feeling like I could start to feel a little bit exhausted or stressed from being around a certain group mentality, that vortex of chaos, you know, that I had noticed was going on, I could choose to go like, oh, man, that's a bummer. I have to be around these people, or I have to, you know, I don't want to feel that way with my week. But instead, I realized, and this is what I shared with this patient of mine, and if you're here, say hi. I'd love to know, give me a thumbs up or some hearts. Let me know you're listening. And if you have any questions or any comments, just feel free to type that in for me. I love to interact. But, you know, what I realized was that I could just as easily, that as feeling like I could participate and get frustrated or get stressed out by the stress that was going on and the chaos that was going around on the others, and feel like a little turned away, like I'm not sure that I want to participate with these people so much anymore. All I had to do was turn that around and go, wait a second, what if they really need someone like me to just be there and show up every now and then? You know, what if that's important? What if, you know, I can just be like a fly on the wall, or I can just insert myself and shine some sunshine, right? Like when we smile, that's like shining sunshine for people. And when we say hello and offer a real genuine compliment, you know, and open your heart, you're letting the other person's heart open too. And it's a pattern interrupt. You're interrupting that tendency of just being negative, or of, you know, feeling off kilter, or of bad mouthing others, or feeling bad that others were bad mouthing. All of that swirls and it perpetuates, and it keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger if we let it. Or we can just kind of do a pattern interrupt and smile, or just be yourself and offer some compassion and laughter, anything that just helps brighten somebody else's day and stops them in their tracks and gives them a little reprieve, gives them a little bit of a break from what's going on. And you know, I just, when I looked at it like that, I thought, I would love it if someone And here I am. I would love it if someone would do that with me. But you know what? It happens all the time. I just have to acknowledge it and see it. And that's what was happening with my patient. Here, she thought she was just coming in to get a filling, before her insurance ran out, for the month. And me, I felt like I received a gift by interacting with her and being in her presence. And just, she affected me and helped me release and just feel more grounded and move on with my day in a real positive way. And I knew that it was up to me, because I'm in control of my own reality. It's been up to me to find all those good things that were going on. And you know what? We got this awesome review that came in. We'll send out emails. We work with this company, and they'll send out surveys and ask our patients to leave us feedback. And so a lot of times people do reply. And I'm gonna read it to you. Hold on, don't go away. I have it somewhere here. There we go. And this just made my day. And one of my employees had let me know that she just wove it into the conversation. She said, "Oh yeah, that's what Eric said. He said that it's just like even when we were late in the day, he felt like it was just like we were as fresh as the morning, for him." And so he gave us 5 stars and he said, review headline was 1.5 hours in the chair and still happy. And he said, I had a late appointment for a cleaning and a couple of fillings, 90 plus minutes in the chair, going late into the evening, and everyone was still all smiles. It's really great going to a dental office where everyone treats you as a person and not just a number or a paycheck. How awesome is that? So every now and then I get to read things like this, and this popped up today too. See, like I could have been like, oh man, my back is sore and my body is tired. I had this very strenuous, all these strenuous like procedures today, which I did, but it's okay. All I have to do is stretch, and I look at something like this and it's just like, ding! You feel good because you're making an impact. And I read this with my team, and I wanted to share that with them. I knew that they had read it already, but it felt important to, together, like as a group, to read that and acknowledge that and celebrate that and feel good. Because what we were saying is like, yeah, we like to be treated, we like to be treated a certain way, so we treat others that way too. And that's a pattern interrupt too. If someone's not treating you super well, or they're being kind of in an upset, you could just think, well, how would I like to be treated? And maybe that person can use some of that tender loving care or a friendly smile or some laughter or something like that, and just to brighten up the mood. So those are some of my insights, and that was kind of my epiphany during my walk at lunchtime today. I was like, I know what I'm going to talk about. So we can face fear and just turn it around. It doesn't have to consume us. And you might just find that when other people are talking about something and getting into something and into that upset, and you start thinking, oh my God, it's awful. Like something really bad is going on here, and how is that going to affect me? And then you'll find evidence that it's like, everything is fine. You're going to find evidence that everything is just okay. There's not a problem. Now I'm thinking of one more instance like that, but it's all right. I'm not going to get into that right now. But basically, I'm looking for things to feel good about and to feel grateful for. I'm looking for them. I'm searching them out, and then I find them. I might not know specifically exactly what it is that I'm going to find, but I just decide, and I just believe that, it's a smooth glass road ahead of me if I want it to be. And I can make it that way, and so can you. And that's a message that I want to get across to you. So I just want to ask you to entertain that idea of practicing mindfulness, for caring about yourself, for letting yourself to step out of any kind of fearful vortex and create your own. Use that energy that might be making you feel tense and stressed. Use that same energy and make it an excited energy. Instead of feeling scared, let yourself feel excited. It's the same physical response. Physiologically, the same thing happens. Our heart rate goes up when you're scared, and when you're excited, it's the same thing. So just decide to be excited instead of scared. And then you'll watch, you'll start finding the awesome things that are going on around you, and then more of that, and more of that, and more of that. And that's how you end up having awesome days. So I wish that for you, and I wish you to have a real awesome weekend too. And I thank you so much for joining me, and I would love it if you would share this video with a friend. Hit like, hit hearts, give me a reaction and some comments, and ask your friends and family to come visit my page here on Facebook or on YouTube. And you can subscribe to my YouTube channel, Dr. Darya Ghafourpour, or you can like my page here and choose to get notifications for the next time that I'm going live. So thanks so much for joining me again, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Have a great night, or morning, or afternoon, wherever you are in this world. Bye.